After the 22-year absence, I figured it was safe to say that Jedi Bob had indeed gone missing in action. But no, in this very strange year of LEGO, there has been yet another twist to the tale. This is the 2024 LEGO Star Wars Jedi Bob Starfighter, and I just don't really know where to begin. I still can't believe I finally have this set in my hands. Yeah, it's like a proper Justin Bieber fanboy moment. The set itself retails for $40 US, 40 euros, and 35 pounds here in the UK. I, of course, managed to pick this one up on my August 1st release day vlog, and that night I got home, it was the first set I built. As boys, I've been really excited to show this one to you all. Set 75388, titled the Jedi Bob Starfighter. It comes out as part of the newest wave of sets from LEGO Star Wars based off the Disney Plus short Rebuild the Galaxy. It includes 305 pieces along with 3 minifigures, being Jedi Bob himself, but more on him in just a moment. Along with both an Akbar Trooper and Servo, if that's how you say it. It's a gonk droid. Moving on. The Akbar Trooper is pretty interesting. With the body and legs of a traditional Stormtrooper, adding a Mon Calamari headpiece is certainly not something you see every day. Now for some collectors, like myself, it may be that you only get 1 or maybe 2 of this figure, subject to how many Jedi Bobs you actually want in your collection. So therefore, with only 1 Akbar Trooper per set, it would certainly be an expensive job to stack up on, and a very, very interesting concept. But the Mon Calamari headpiece doing its wonderful job as usual of looking fantastic. Definitely a really solid figure from LEGO. Okay, it's time for the big boy himself, the return of Jedi Bob. Now I want to give LEGO a lot of credit for this one. You'd think for a figure that was last released 22 years ago, that it would potentially be scrutinized to the dots, and LEGO would make sure that everything had been upgraded, and Bob himself was looking the finest he's ever looked for a guy who's not even showered in 22 years. But no, they sort of did the complete opposite, and I actually really like it. Jedi Bob himself looks near identical to the Jedi Bob from over 20 years ago, equipped with the same styled outfit along with the same hood mold. There are only some small changes overall to Bob's general appearance, and for me, LEGO have kind of gotten all of them spot on. First up, the most notable change is the more ragged and worn effect LEGO have given to the printing of Jedi Bob's robes, with no clean lines printed and the grey colours of his robes bleeding onto the more beige shirt underneath. LEGO have opted to make this modern version of Jedi Bob a clear indication of what Jedi Bob would actually look like after 22 years of not changing. Now, similar to the original, there are no printed elements to this minifigure's legs, and a very small minute change to Bob's face, with his facial hair now seeming less clean, and therefore adapting the worn, scratched effect as we've also seen on Jedi Bob's torso. Now, of course, the figure itself is a slightly different toned grey, but that's just down to the changes LEGO has made to their colour system over the years. But the final change to Jedi Bob would actually come in the form of his lightsaber. This time, it is a standard lightsaber, not having the chrome effect. Now, moving on to the Starfighter, first thing that comes to mind is that it very much reminds me of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, and there was a lot to that build that I loved, so it's a good sign. I do in fact really like the colour design. It very much reminds me of a Star Wars version of Ayrton Senna's McLaren. Bright red always seems to work well with white, and with the added grey, there is certainly a nice blend to this model. The set sadly doesn't feature any notable printed pieces. All the detail to the outside of this set is indeed stickered, but there isn't really a great amount of stickers like you'd see with, of course, the McLaren MCL60, as of course another Formula 1 reference. That set is layered in thousands of stickers, and Jedi Bob Starfighter isn't, so I like that. Another really cool feature to this set is the engine designs. I really enjoyed making this build as a whole, but the engines had a really fun concept as to how they got put together, and these yellow, I guess, thrusters blasting out of the back, they really do look cool. The wings to this Starfighter have a really nice design mechanism to them, which gives it a more slanted and aerodynamic effect, which just coincides with how fast this Starfighter looks as a whole. Now, one of the parts of this set that caught me by surprise is the secret stash of goodies hidden away inside of this compartment. If we remove the lid, we can indeed reveal some secret blue milk and a banana hidden away. I'm not gonna lie, but I have no idea why, but I'm certainly not against it. It definitely made me laugh, and I guess, well, even the greatest of Jedis have to stay hydrated. So overall, let's get to the bit that matters. Would I say that this set is value for money? And would I recommend you purchasing it? Well, the answer to that, 100% yes to both. $40 is a very reasonable price point to myself for a clean and fun build, along with 3 characters, especially when one of them is of course the featured Jedi Bob, if I hadn't already mentioned that he hasn't featured in a set for over 22 years. Again, that's sarcasm. Now, it may seem a little expensive, and granted, LEGO as a whole is all going up in value. Well, value is for like retired sets. LEGO as a whole is going up in price, but for the price in comparison to other LEGO Star Wars sets which are retailing for around $40, you get a fan favorite character who I'm sure that we all felt we would never see again, along with 2 new and interesting concept minifigures which I'm sure none of us could have imagined? Well, I should really say 1 because it's a gonk droid. And like I've already mentioned, a really solid build. I do think it's one of the most popular August 1st releases. Now, there were indeed plenty available on the shelves when I went and got mine, but I really wouldn't be surprised if LEGO have just made this set in abundance. Likely, of course, knowing how popular the return of Jedi Bob 2 LEGO Star Wars would be. That would be smart planning in advance. But either way, I am very happy to have this set added to my collection. If you enjoyed today's review, please remember to like and subscribe on your way out. And hit the notification bell to make sure you stay up to date with all of my new releases. Next up, we have indeed got the Age of Ultron. And boys, I'm excited. Peace!